So I
And
don't
so,
know, can you walk us through how you're able to your approach in balancing the different elements in that mix? Do you understand? To ensure that level
yeah,
of clarity and coherence. So can you walk us, just take us on a brief walk?
okay, all right. I'll start with my kick. So for my sub channel, I had a lo-fi effect on it. It's on the Avid. So just to open up my low ends in the subs, yeah. So for my kick, I didn't do much because I had good velums, good drums, good drum skin. I had good mics to pick um my drum set. So for my kick, I just did a cut on 500x, boosted the eyes, then gave it some low end from 63x, just like a 3 dB boost because I had just four subs in the hall. So I needed those low ends to just pop a bit. So I gained up the I gained up 63x on the kick drum mix. Yeah, so that was what I did. And it was two mics I used, the kick in and the kick out mics. So I was able to blend, face out the mics adequately. Then for my snare mix, I had only a mic on it, just the top for the top mic. I had a Beta 57 drum microphone, Shure Beta 57 drum microphone on the snare. And prior to time, I took out time to tune the drums myself, especially the snare drum, because I'm a lover of snare drum. So I took out time to tune the snare drum myself. I got a tone from which how I want the drum to sound, how I want it to fit into the style and the kind of music the band is doing. Then for my entire drum mix, I just sent it to a a group channel on the console. I grouped them to a channel and I processed. So what I basically did on it was just EQ and compression. There was no external plugins used on the drums. So it was just EQ and compression I did on the drums. Then going to my bass channel, what I basically do for my bass channel to create space between my kick and my bass is once I'm done mixing my kick here, I'll copy the EQ, paste it on my bass channel. I'll boost the frequencies I cut for my kick, then I'll cut the frequencies I boost on my kick for the bass, then I'll boost the ones I cut from my kick and I'll cut the ones I boost on my bass. So just to create space for those frequencies not to clash. Then once I do that, I now further went to tweaking the bass to make it sound like a bass guitar. Then for my guitar line, I basically left that on flat. I just did a low cut up to 100. Yeah, up to a hundred on that mix. Then I left it. My keyboard too was flat, but I did a low cut on my keyboard line and all of that. So that's basically what I did. Talking drum too, what I did on the what I did on the bass, copied the mix to my talking drum, then just built from there and let I told drummer, bass and talking drummer guys to play um simultaneously. I was able to have that balance between them. In the mix I posted, there was no talking drum playing because they were not playing African songs. So for my vocals, I grouped my vocals. That's my backing vocals. I put them to a group. I used an external plugin, a compressor, a C1 compressor on them, C1 or a C2 on them. So I was able to have a balance. Then it was two compressors. I used the multi-band and I used the ordinary. So on the first compression, the on the normal compressor, I did I did a very hard compression on it. Not so hard, but you could see the threshold popping in. and all of that. Then for the multi-band compressor, I just did a little cut and a little dynamic compression on the vocal. So when they tend to push um, from their voices, the multi-band compressor will just help me bring those frequencies that are lashing out on their vocal, because it's like a group. Everybody sounds differently. So there are some frequencies that will be more pronounced than the other. So I was just able to give that balance to my vocals. Then for my lead mic also, I grouped my lead mics because there were four lead mics I used. So I didn't want anybody popping and going out of the mix. I grouped them into a mix. Also did a mix for them similar to what I did on my vocals. Then sent them to a reverb also. The group channel, the channel I grouped, I picked a source. I used an empty channel to pick it, took it out from the FOH, then I sent it to the reverb. So that was what I did on my backing vocals for the reverbs. Then for the reverbs on my lead vocals, I sent them directly to the reverbs and to the delay. Then I EQ'd the delays and the reverbs accordingly to match the texture of the mix, the kind of music they do. Then what I did on my FOH, tuning my FOH speakers, because I was one that tuned it myself. Um, I had issues with my RTA mic. I didn't use. If you see the video, you see a sound card. So I was supposed to use an RTA mic for it, but I had issues with it. So I used my ears actually, because the hall was not that very stressful. So what I did was to cut 63x downward to 20x down from my PA, play pink noise, then raise each frequency band adequately to just hear which one sounds very awful. Then I bring them down to the limit at which I raised them and they were awful. I was just able to balance things out like that. Then I did the same for sub, roll out up to 100x. At some point, I took out the 100x from my sub. I took it out because I was getting some bugsiness from my bass and I didn't want to lose it. So I just brought it down a bit and I was fine. So my sub was good. My top was good. And that lo-fi that I inserted on my sub was able to help me pop my sub really good, because the set guy did not consider the sound guys when he was doing the set. So we had the subs at the back of we had this up so far away. I didn't get it where I wanted it to be, but that lo-fi was able to just help me keep my low ends intact. So I was able to have a balance with my FOH and my low ends. Yeah. Then for my I didn't EQ the left and right. I sent it to a matrix. I had a compressor on it, just a light compressor, fast attack, fast release, and just a little bit of threshold, just to show those red light to every frequency, any frequency that wants to lash out or any element that wants to lash out, to just bring it down for me a bit. So I'll not do much. Then I sent my FOH to my metrics channel, sent the metrics, and I EQ'd the metrics, and I recorded from my left and right into my laptop. So that was basically what I did there. So